What's going on, guys? JSGC here, and we are here for another Manchester City transfer update. Remember, rolling out daily Manchester City transfer updates throughout the whole summer transfer window for you guys to stay up to date with here on YouTube with all the latest City transfer content this summer. So if you haven't already, do subscribe to my channel. It is free to subscribe. Also, don't forget social media links. They're in the description if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter, Instagram and TikTok. Email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up. 300 likes is the aim. Do let me know your thoughts as well in the comments below. And finally, I want to say a big thank you to today's video sponsor, which is brought to you by Sofascore ahead of the new football season coming up. You guys are going to want to stay up to date with all the latest scores along with the latest match information, match analysis and match statistics for you guys to go and check out, and Sofascore have got you covered. It's a free app to download. It's a very highly rated app, so do go and check it out. Links and details, they are in the description. And one thing I really love about Sofascore, it's not just limited to football, but all the sports that you guys love to follow. You can keep up to date with all the scores on there. So we're going to crack on with this video. We've got no contract news, so we're going to start off with the outs, and we've got the very latest on Ben Knight. It is believed, according to Alvaro de Grado over in Spain, that Real Murcia are closing in on signing Ben Knight on loan from Manchester City. That means he's going to be spending the season out on loan in the second tier of Spain. Ben Knight is a forward, 22 years old, born in Cambridge in England, so it'll be a really good experience. I think that for Ben Knight would be a good low move to Real Murcia, so we will see when we get official confirmation on that, as it is believed that he is closing in on the loan. And Manchester City are currently having a look at all their young players in terms of what they want to do with them, whether that would be to keep them around the academy or promote any of the players to the first team squad, or to loan them out. I would say that any player that's headed out on pre-season with Manchester City are probably the players that you're looking at who could be used around the first team squad. A lot of them players, though, will either be loaned out or sold with good sell-on fees and buyback clauses included. And any of the young players who haven't headed out on pre-season with City will either be loaned out or if a good offer will come in, then City will look for a permanent sale, or they'll keep them around the academy. Now, moving on to the ins, we've got the very latest on Pedro Neto, and Fabrizio Romano has now given that the here we go for Pedro Neto to sign for Chelsea from Wolverhampton Wanderers. It's a deal worth €63 million, so you're looking at just less than £60 million, which would have been very affordable for Manchester City. And if City do want to make a move for Ederson from Crystal Palace, then he's going to cost £60 million. So Pedro Neto, actually, in that deal that Chelsea managed to negotiate with Wolves, would have been cheaper than what Ederson is going to cost Manchester City if we do decide to go down that route. But Manchester City decided that they were interested in Pedro Neto, have chosen not to make their move, so all eyes now very much on Ederson. Are Manchester City going to make a move for the Crystal Palace man? Now, moving on to the final transfer I want to speak about and really get my teeth into is an update on a new name for the window, but isn't a new name to the JSGC transfer updates, is Kingsley Coman. Now, I've not really spoke about Kingsley Coman over the last few years. He has previously been linked with a move to Manchester City, and it's always been very much hearsay, and I think that's what's being reported here is also a little bit of hearsay. But I do want to just not so much speculate, but I do want to just give my thoughts and opinions, not just on Kingsley Coman, but on this potential little transfer hole that Manchester City have with selling Julian Alvarez. So the latest on Kingsley Coman very quickly: Bayern Munich, they want to sell the French winger. They're open to loaning him out and having an option to buy rather than an obligation to buy, so that will be a big tick for a lot of teams, and also could interest Manchester City. And TeamTalk have said that Barcelona are the club that are most interested in signing Kingsley Coman this summer, but Manchester City apparently are contemplating making a move. Man City just umming and ahhing a little bit in the transfer window. Now, apparently Manchester City really like that this is a temporary signing, that it's a loan with an option to buy, because Manchester City could end up filling a hole in their squad without having to commit to anything other than a loan fee and paying Kingsley Coman's wage, which in the short term would suit Manchester City because it gives us an additional 12 months to prepare to properly replace Julian Alvarez. Now, I have a feeling that Man City are probably going to want to go with the young players rather than loaning a player for the sake of loaning a player, unless they are genuinely interested in signing Kingsley Coman. And other than this report that's come out from TeamTalk, my understanding is I don't think Manchester City are going to do that. It's a short-term solution to what will be a long-term potential problem for Manchester City. Now, Kingsley Coman did feature in only 27 games for Bayern Munich last season, spent a lot of the time injured, so why would Manchester City want to choose and pursue that option when there are other options in the market? Well, Kingsley Coman is a vastly experienced player who's used to winning, and do not downplay the importance of Julian Alvarez's absence in the Manchester City squad, because he is a player who is incredibly successful. He knows how to win the biggest of competitions. He knows how to win, and he has that elite style of mentality. And losing a player like that has that mentality, who never gives up and has that champion persona running right through literally all of his veins, is going to be a big loss for Manchester City, in particular when you're replacing them with young players who don't have that experience. Well, that's where Kingsley Coman may come in, because Kingsley Coman does have that experience. He has won the biggest of trophies out there on offer in football. He is a very good player when he is injury-free, and to me, it'd be a good option. I just think that Man City like long-term, and I think there's going to be better options than Kingsley Coman, but I'm not completely against the idea. I just don't see Man City pursuing this and wanting to go down that loan route, because I've just not seen City do that before. And dare I suggest that loaning a player with an option to buy smells a little bit of desperation, and Manchester City don't do desperation under Chicky in the transfer window. It just does not happen. Man City are very happy if they can't find a suitable player to walk away and say, we will assess again in 12 months' time. That's how Manchester City do their business, rather than panic signing. But if Man City do genuinely feel like Kingsley Coman could be of use to Manchester City, then they could go down that route. Because at the moment, in terms of attackers, you've got Erling Haaland. If he ends up picking up an injury, City will want to go down that false nine route. It will be Oscar Bob or it will be Phil Foden. They will be Man City's two options on offer. Oscar Bob was seen a lot playing out wide, so if Man City want to use Oscar Bob as a winger, predominantly on that right wing, because after all, Oscar Bob was seen as Man City's long-term replacement for Cole Palmer, and Man City's plan for Cole Palmer was not to use him as a second striker or as a false nine. The plan was to use Cole Palmer as a winger, in particular on that right wing, with us selling Riyad Mahrez last summer. We've brought Savinho in to help with that, because Jeremy Doku was meant to be his replacement, but he's been very good on that left wing, so he's going to be providing competitive competition with Jack Grealish. In terms of the wingers, we're looking very good. However, you take Oscar Bob and you play him as the false nine for Manchester City. Your options are Jeremy Doku on one side and Savinho potentially on the other. You're relying on young, inexperienced players, which is where Man City may just want a player to come in who's more than capable of coming off the bench and maybe turning a game on its head, and also you're having a player who's more than capable of doing 15 to 20 starts in the season, which may just suit Kingsley Coman, with him helping him to get over his injuries rather than keep rushing him back and saying, you've got first team reliabilities here. Instead, be a squad player. You'll be called upon when you're needed, and it's a good short-term fix. However, I just don't see Manchester City wanting to do that. I see Manchester City, if I'm being honest, wanting a player who's going to cover false nine and both left-hand side and right-hand side when it comes to wingers. It's going to take the slack off the likes of Phil Foden and Bernardo Silva and allow Manchester City to use them as central midfielders in particular. Not so much Phil Foden, because I think he's going to be playing in the attacking role and he's going to be doing a lot of rotation and complementing of Kevin De Bruyne, but more so Bernardo Silva, because Man City haven't addressed that number 6, number 8 role. So you're looking at an injury to a Rodri or a Kovacic, and all of a sudden Man City have some dangers there in the squad. Are we going to stick with Calvin Phillips? If we don't stick with Calvin Phillips, which is my expectation right now, you need players that can play in that deeper role. And Bernardo Silva, certainly when you're not taking on maybe the top 6 in the Premier League and taking on the creme de la creme of the Champions League, I think Bernardo Silva's more than adaptable and capable in playing in more of a deep role for Manchester City. And so if you use Bernardo Silva as that version, versatile option. Again, it just takes away that option in attack, and I think Manchester City are just one player short in attack with Julian Alvarez leaving. In an ideal world, you want a player that can play central midfield, attacking midfield, left wing and right wing. In being able to do that, it's going to be difficult to sign, and as far as I'm concerned, you want a player like that, pay the £60 million and sign Ederson. If you want a short-term option, Kingsley Coman's right there. You can address the situation before we even play Chelsea in the Premier League. If you want to commit and go for midfielders, you get Cancelo out, you get Calvin Phillips out, and you go and sign a number 6, number 8. You're going to do that though, Manchester City. You're going to have to pay a lot of money, and I'm talking £80+ million. So I'd love to know your thoughts with that, guys, in the comments below. Very interesting. Something for me to keep my eyes and ears open for, and also something for me to get my teeth into. So there we go. That has been today's transfer update. I do hope you enjoyed the video. Do leave a thumbs up. 300 likes is the aim. Do let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Do subscribe if you're new around here. I am live later on today with my live watch along of Manchester City's match against Manchester United in the Community Shield. I'm live from 2:30 p.m. British summer time, so I will see you for that. The link is already out on my channel if you want to go and set your reminders for that. Also, don't forget social media links. They're in the description if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter, Instagram and TikTok. Email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. And don't forget to go and check out today's video sponsor, which is brought to you by Sofascore. And I'll see you real soon tomorrow for the next daily Manchester City video. So I've been JSGC. Thank you everyone for watching. I hope everyone is safe and well. Peace. Ciao for now.